Um, well, yeah, I want to give a shout out to everyone on YouTube watching live again. Thanks for joining us. I see Ed is there. I see Sam is there. J Rez, what's up? J Rez made their debut last Tuesday, I believe, at Mona Bar. So hopefully you get to see you again tomorrow. We're going to be next door at Rosewood. J Rez in the house, musician. Thanks for, as always, supporting and following us. We got David in the house as well. Awesome. Yeah. So again, if you guys are tuning in live, just say hello. What's up? What's up? All right. We're going to keep this online mic going, and we're going to come back to El Paso for our next performer. They've been a regular at our Riders Nights, always leaving little trinkets and treats and taking our secrets. I still don't know what the end goal of that is. No, I'm just kidding. Trading secrets for snacks. I think it's a genius, a devious plan. But here to share some poetry with us, we have Chris. All right, when you're ready, let me get you on the spotlight. Push the wrong button. There you are. Hey.
Yay. All right. Like Ed, I was at Tumblewords this week with Kelly Mary McAllister and Tales of the Gently Used. I do have a picture of the puppet that I fell in love with and will protect until my dying breath on my Instagram stories at Taco Bell Chris. And this poem was inspired by said puppet. When God made me, he kept muttering, "Do it badly. It's okay. You're learning." When God put me in the kiln to glaze and come alive, he didn't realize I could read his lips, even though he forgot to give me eyes. My creator, my love, kept whispering, "It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be done." He looked at me through the window of the oven with tears in his eyes, so I smiled. His returning expression might generously be described as surprise. When Adam came along, perfect and shiny and new, I was placed on a shelf until Adam showed he wasn't perfect too. I was allowed to live God's beloved practice run and all, passed down from father to son to daughter to mom. One day I sat smiling at a family trying to give me a name. Some sort of puppet, I think. Sure, but what's wrong with its face? I kept smiling for the shrugs and the pictures they took before placing me in a bin. My name is Cursed. My name is Monster. My name is It's. I had a different name once. I will wait until I hear it again. Hello there. You are mine. Hello there. You are loved. Yay. All right. And this one was about the concept of love when I was talking to a coworker, and I think it came out okay. I give myself a B minus. When she says, "What are you thinking about?" I say, "I'm thinking that to love the moon and stars is to love something always in your sight but out of touch. But I always imagined loving me was to love the sun. Out of touch, yes, not from coldness, but from a safe distance that keeps both of us from being on fire." That's pretty existential for 9 in the morning, Chris. Try again. Okay, I'm thinking that I would leave a room of angels just to be alone and speak their name. After all, what is heaven good for if not one last prayer? I'm pretty sure I could paint their portrait if I never saw them again, but who among us wouldn't sell their soul to feel the warmth of a smile, like a ray of sun after too many winter months? Actually, I'll try again. How are you, Chris? Thank you for asking. I'm so filled with empathy, sometimes it tears me apart. Each friend in need holding a string that unravels my ragdoll heart. But it's like totally chill. I would rather be torn apart than filled with less love. This might be why nobody talks to you before the coffee is ready. Yeah, well, I am relearning what it means to be the sun. I can warm without burning. I can share my light without demanding direct eye contact. Maybe one day I too will implode just to pull you closer. You might be cold for a time, but even then, I could still love you, right? I could try. I will try. And then the last one will be a cover by Nathaniel Orion. It is called Hevel, which is the Hebrew name for Abel in the Bible, and I love it. I was haunted by this poem, so now you get to be too. This is how it goes. God whispers in Cain's jealous ear, drawing his attention to the sin crouched at his doorway. Sin has haunted eyes and a mouth that has been kissed. Let there be no doubt that sin has been kissed with a wet red mouth that may taste of blood or pomegranate or the electric crackle of a stoplight. Cain looks at sin. He runs his tongue over his teeth. This is how it goes. Cain leaves the house at 1 a.m. in bare feet and a hoodie, careful to avoid the last stair that creaks, and treks out into the field. There are many fields in the world, but there is only one field. Cain feels the difference in the grass when he crosses the border from field to field, the way the gray green blades stand up at attention in his wake, the way the dirt turns ice cold and furious beneath his heels. The earth is good with foreshadowing. The tree of knowledge has deep roots. This is how it goes. God says, I will take you or your brother. God says, you get to choose. And Cain says, when you split me and my brother in the womb, you did not divide us evenly. He got kindness and I got longing. He got complacence and I got ambition. I want to kill him sometimes. I think sometimes he wants to die. I've never made brothers before, God explains. That is how I thought they were made. What more do you want? I want to steal some of his kindness, Cain says, and shakes his pocket knife out of his sleeve. Back at home, Abel sits up in his bed with a start, heart racing. That was close, he thinks. That was a damn close one, and he does not know why. In the field, the ground warms as blood seeps into the dirt. Right, you can find me at Taco Bell Chris on Instagram, and I will also put my link tree in the chat here if you want to find my other stories, other workshops, the one workshop that I've done for Tumble Words in the past, and anything that I put in the future. And I think, yeah, that covers it. Richie, you can take me out of the spotlight.
All right. Well, sure, if you insist. All right, that's Chris, everyone.